Sa totoo lang, hinahanap nila ako doon ngayon sa House of Representatives kasi pinag-uusapan nila ang budget ng Office of the Vice President. Siguro naka-live stream sila doon, hinahanap nila ako. Pakisabi na lang, nandito ako sa inyo. Sabi ko sa kanila, binibigay ko na yan sa inyo kung anong gusto niyong gawin sa budget ng Office of the Vice President. Bahala na kayo. Basta kami, kung anong meron, yun ang tutuloy-tuloy ang trabaho ng Office of the Vice President. Kung ano pong matulong namin sa opisina namin, sa Legazpi, Albay, ang coverage po nila ay buong Bicol Region. Konti lang po yan sila pero sinusubukan nila na mapuntahan lahat. Kung ano pong matulong namin, ipaalam niyo po sa amin dahil alam ko na pinili ninyo ako para magtrabaho sa bayan.
Good morning po. For Kong Jill Bongalon, kasi 3 a.m. na, I guess, almost 3 na po natapos yung budget hearing kanina. Can you walk us through lang po and paano yung magiging move or next actions ng majority, like sa amendments na po ba, if ever na hindi pa rin po umattend ang or any representative ng OVP, tomorrow na ba yung adjustments, for example, sa budget ng OVP? Thank you.
Right. Thank you for the question. So, yung parliamentary status po ng budget ng Office of the Vice President is that it has not yet taken up in the plenary, ano? Kasi kahapon, 17 oras naghintay ang miyembro ng House of Representatives for the Office of the Vice President to appear before the plenary. Although may pinadala po silang mga abogado, but they are not properly equipped with the authorization, no? So, in other words, they're not authorized to represent on behalf of the Vice President. So, ngayon po, naka-schedule ang pagtalakay sa budget ng Office of the Vice President. So, we will wait until the Vice President shows up and then, or any of the representative of the Office of the Vice President.
So, sir, if wala nga po umattend from the OVP, ano pong mangyayari? Ano na pong gagawin ng majority?
Well, we still have 1 day, which is by tomorrow. So, ang House of Representatives naman is very lenient, no? We're giving so much leniency to the Office of the Vice President and give chance, no? Para po sila ay dumalo dito po sa pagtalakay sa plenaryo ng kanila pong budget. So we have until Wednesday, which is tomorrow. They're given sufficient time within which to appear before the plenary. And the sponsor, the good congressman from Lanao del Sur, the Honorable Zia Alonto Adjong, is still waiting, no, for the Office of the Vice President. So mahirap naman po kasi sa party niya, no, bilang budget sponsor. May mga katanungan po talaga na dapat yung sagot is manggagaling po directly sa head of the agency. So with that, hihintayin ho natin ngayong araw ng Martes. At kung hindi po mag-appear, we still have tomorrow, which is Wednesday, for them to appear and defend the budget through their sponsor, yung budget po ng Office of the Vice President.
And if tomorrow po hindi pa rin po umattend ang OVP or anyone from them?
If I would just may add dun sa sinabi ni Congressman Jill, alam nyo kahapon talagang nakakaawa po yung mga miyembro ng Kongreso. Although talagang trabaho naman talaga namin yun, yung pagsisiyasat at paghihimay ng budget ng mabawat ahensya. Nag-umpisa po kami ng alas 10 at natapos po kami ng alas 3 ng umaga. At kahapon po, nakaschedule po yung Office of the Vice President at 10 a.m. Unfortunately, the Vice President was not available. She was not present. And also, neither was a letter explaining her absence was presented to the committee. Furthermore, there was no letter authorizing any representative to represent the Office of the Vice President in yesterday's proceedings. So inantay po namin yung kabuuan ng Lunes at umabot na po ng Martes, kakaantay kaso lang wala pa rin po. So ngayon, tulad ng sinabi ni Congressman Jill, aantayin pa rin po namin kung ano po ang magiging aksyon ng Office of the Vice President hanggang bukas. So we will provide every opportunity for the Office of the Vice President to come and be present during the plenary debates. I think it is only but necessary for every head of office to make themselves available in such a crucial period, because we are tackling the budget by which the office will be operating on the following year. So we have to give dignity and respect to the office that they represent. At ang isang pinakamagandang pagpapakita nito ay syempre yung pagpunta dito sa Kongreso. Kasi bahagi naman po talaga to ng legislative process, bahagi po talaga to ng ating demokrasya, bahagi po talaga to ng tinatawag po natin transparency and accountability na pinatutupad po natin sa ating pamahalaan.
Maybe hear the comments from other distinguished
So,
guests.
add lang yung kay Kong JJ, they very much put it well, yung kay Kong J saka kay Kong Jill. Pero sana wag naman po silang paasa kasi sunod-sunod na po yung events, nakikita nyo naman po, Chronicle. Ngayon, hanggang Wednesday po, we're extending the full courtesy at saka yung of course, yung pagrespeto po sa Office of the Vice President ay binibigay po ng House of Representatives. Pero mahirap po ang paasa, saka wag naman silang paasa.
Kung Paulo, yung sinasabi na wag pasa, yung uso din ba sa budget process yung ghosting na tinatawag?
Oo nga, no? Pero ano na ngayon, hindi na August. Extended.
I guess in addition to that po, no, and that's rightly put by DS Suarez, on the part of the minority naman, usually when there are any irregularities or when any answer is insufficient, we would usually defer. But for once, yung minority po all in agreement na wag naman yung ultimatum na defer, we are extending maximum leniency in the hopes that we would come to a, productive resolution to this chapter of the budget hearings. Yet, after 17 hours of deliberation, not one authorized representative was there. But yun nga po, pinag-usapan, kahit yung minority, hindi po ipapa-defer. We are willing to take it up the next day, and as mentioned already by Congressman Bongalon, should it come to that, we're also willing to take it up again on Wednesday, just to uphold our constitutional duty to pass this budget. We're doing all that we can. We're exerting all our efforts. Kahit nakawawa na po si Kong Zia, nakita po namin after 17 hours, hinintay niya po talaga. And if, I don't know if nakita sa live stream, pero natutulog na po siya sa corner waiting. And unfortunately, I feel like he will wait again today. And he might have to wait again tomorrow. So, yun na po, panawagan lang po siguro namin is, wag naman pabitin po, no? Let's conclude this budget process according to the Constitution.
Lahat naman po ng lahat naman po ng mga departamento kailangan dumaan sa prosesong ganito. Wala pong exempted dito at binibigyan naman po ng respeto at paggalang ang opisina ng Vice President. Yun lang sana umattend at respetuhin ang proseso at sana wag pa-baby At talagang kailangan kasi nating malaman kung saan niya dinadala, ginagamit yung budget ng OVP. So sana respetuhin niya yung proseso at magpadala ng representative or umattend siya sa budget hearing na lahat naman ng mga departamento ay ginagawa.
Thank you, Marian. Let's move to the next question from Bibian Gulia of ABS-CBN2.
Good morning po. Clarification lang, as of now, until this time po, wala pa ring letter of explanation na ibinibigay sa Kamara ang Office of the Vice President regarding the absence, and wala pong dumating today na representative from the Office of the Vice President. And just to reiterate the question po kanina, what will happen if on Wednesday, wala pa rin pong ipadalang letter or of explanation or representative ang OVP?
Yeah. Well, from my knowledge, as of today, wala pa rin pong pinadadalang explanation, wala pa rin pong pinadadalang sulat o anumang document para ipaliwanag kung bakit wala po sila kahapon. We will wait for the entire day of Tuesday because we really want to progress already dito po sa plenary debates ng iba't ibang mga ahensya. Medyo sumisikip na nga po dahil yung ibang mga departments nakaschedule for today, yung ibang na mga departments na hindi po na-defer nung nakarang linggo, nakaschedule for today at yung iba naman para bukas. So I do hope that we're able to close this chapter and we can move forward already because we're scheduled to go on break on the 25th, so sa Wednesday. So kailangan po talaga matapos kaagad namin to within the given time period. Now, doon po sa tanong po ninyo kung wala pa rin po, siguro mas maganda pong antayin po natin kung ano po ang magiging aksyon ng plenaryo dito at kung ano po ang magiging rekomendasyon ng Committee on Appropriations because they're the ones presenting the budget right now on plenary. So this is not a decision for us to make, but rather a decision for the 315 or 16 congressmen who compose the House of Representatives.
But can you at least walk us through the scenarios po, possible scenarios? For example, posible po bang ipasa yung budget? I mean, could it delay the target to pass the national budget on third reading on Wednesday? Or posible po bang yung panukalang 733 million, yun na yun? Or posible bang bumaba pa po yung panukalang budget para sa Office of the Vice President?
As of now, siguro it wouldn't be prudent to answer the question because let's give them a little bit more time. Meron pa naman buong araw ng Martes at nandun pa naman po yung buong araw ng Miyerkules para humarap, dumating, ipaliwanag at wala naman po tayong dapat sarahang na pinto sa pagkakataon para sa Office of Vice President na dumalo ng maayos sa plenary discussions ng kanilang budget.
Dagdag ko lang po So the last time we checked, the holding group assigned for the officials of the Office of the Vice President, until now po wala pong ni isang opisyal na dumalo galing po sa Office of the Vice President. And as I mentioned earlier, we have the whole Tuesday to wait for them to appear and express that they are willing to attend these plenary debates on the sponsorship of the budget of the Office of the Vice President.
Huli na lang from me, sir, kasi yesterday may si Congressman Manuel during his manifestation na clear betrayal of public trust itong ginagawa daw po ng Vice Presidente na hindi umiiwas sa pagpapaliwanag ng how her office utilized the budget. Do you agree with that? And there are calls sa mga rally yesterday to impeach the Vice President. Your thoughts lang po.
Well, hindi naman kasi napag-uusapan dito sa House yung pag-i-impeach sa Vice President. Katulad nga na sinasabi ni Kong JJ kanina, we respect the Office of the Vice President and we are giving much leeway sa ating VP para i-defend pumunta dito sa House para i-defend yung kanyang budget. So, sa majority, wala kaming napag-uusapan tungkol sa impeachment. Hindi natin iniisip yan. At ang importante sa amin ngayon is maipasa on time yung budget, including the budget of the Office of the Vice President, At maipakita sa tao na ang Kongreso patuloy nagtatrabaho para may ahon ang kanilang buhay para makatulong tayo sa buhay ng ating mamamayan. At syempre, yan din yung gusto ng ating leader sa Kongreso, Speaker Martin Romualdez, na maipasa agad ang budget dahil ang budget na ito budget na malaki ang maitutulong upang maiangat ang buhay ng ating mga kababayan.
Siguro in addition to that po, no, yung konsepto po natin sa pagboboto, dito po nanggagaling yung concept of public trust. Kapag tayo po ay nagboboto, we as the public repose our trust and confidence that the elected official will uphold his or her constitutionally mandated duties. So when an official who is supposed to appear before the House and defend his or her budget fails to do so, to an extent, betrayal po of public trust yun. That is true. It is the betrayal of that duty, constitutional duty, for his or her part in the budget process. But yung to the point naman po, ma'am, na sinasabi na impeachment, I think that's, yun nga po, as sabi ni Kong Jay, wala naman po yun on the table in the House, di man pinag-uusapan, and you have to consider the degree of the public trust that has been betrayed. But just to be purely technically po, it is in a way betrayal of public trust. But whether it would amount to impeachment, masyadong malayo naman po yun. Yun lang po masabi.
For my part, I totally understand where Congressman Manuel is coming from. The frustration that he has felt in the past few weeks with regards to the issues confronting the Office of the Vice President with regards to their funds, fund management, and how it was utilized, and much more yesterday na nakaschedule po yung Office of the Vice President for plenary discussion. At yung hindi po pagsipot dito ay talaga namang I mean, pagpapakita po, personally, I'm disappointed. I mean, I would have expected more. I mean, this is such an important part in the budgetary process. And if you can see, and if you have seen in the past few days, weeks, secretaries are here waiting for more than 10 hours just so that their department can be presented in plenary. And no one is excused from this process. So I do understand the frustrations of Congressman Manuel, and I do respect where he's coming from. And with regards to that, I'm still hopeful na sana itong mga darating na araw naman, di ba? Dumating, magpaliwanag para matapos na po natin ito.
Thank you. Next up, we have a question from Billy Vegas of Abante Politico.
Magandang umaga po. Hingi lang po ng reaction kasi it appears po based dun sa mga lumabas sa social media na galing sa beach si VP. So nakapunta siya sa beach pero hindi siya nakarating sa budget deliberation. So ano pong thoughts niyo doon?
Kung totoo man yun, sir, papasana all ka na lang talaga. Kasi kami, dire-diretso po yung trabaho dito sa House. Siyempre, napaka-importante nga po nung na-highlight na exercise ng budget deliberations. Clear naman po sa statements ko from previous na press cons na hindi namin napag-uusapan yung impeachment. Pero parang ang dating tuloy sa mga nangyayari sa pag-snub po sa mga hearings, sa pag-walk out po sa hearings, sa pag-take ng oath, sa hindi pag-defend ng budget. Parang hindi po siya interesado sa trabaho at sa pagiging active po bilang Vice President. Siguro, ewan ko, baka ako lang to, baka magpa-file siya o tatakbo siya. Baka ibang gusto niyang position. Kaya medyo ibang treatment niya sa Office of the Vice President.
Well, for me, nakaka-disappoint, because we expect so much from her. At nakakalungkot dahil talagang nakita naman natin na yung mga kasamahan natin, kami dito sa Kongreso, nagtatrabaho talaga ng ng hanggang madaling araw para maipasa yung batas. At yun nga, ipinagpaliban yung budget niya kahapon. Tapos, kung totoo man, malalaman natin na siya ay naliligo sa beach, nagbi-beach, nagpapakasarap. Samantalang yung mga tao dito sa Kongreso, nagpapakahirap, para ipasa yung budget for 2025. Talagang, nakaka-frustrate, talagang, sana humarap na lang siya rito, tapusin natin yung budget hearing pumunta siya dito, i-defend yung budget ng OVP, gawin yung kanyang mandated constitutional na responsibility na i-defend yung budget ng OVP. So, nakakalungkot na nagkaroon tayo ng Vice President na talagang kinakalimutan yung kanyang trabaho at yung kanyang responsibilidad, no, na gawin, no, yung kanyang constitutionally mandate na trabaho para lamang mag-beach, no, kung totoo man yun.
For my part, this is bigger than the Vice President per se. Ang daming personnel, ang daming tao, ang daming mga empleyado na nasa ilalim ng Office of the Vice President. So dapat iniisip din nila yung kalagayan nito. Kasi kung walang budget to, paano yung sweldo nila sa susunod na taon? Paano yung operating expense ng Office of the Vice President kung wala sila? So I mean, this is not a matter of personality, but a matter of position that she has been elected to, and that she needs to hold dear to her heart, especially the responsibilities that come with it. And some of those responsibilities may be difficult. Some of those responsibilities may be hard. But those are responsibilities that have to be done. And one of those responsibilities is coming to Congress, standing for your agency, and supporting your budget. So, with regards to the photo in the beach, hindi ko pa po kasi, although I've seen the article, seems like it's a nice beach. Siguro pag may time tayong lahat at wala na tayong masyadong gawa, siguro magandang makapunta din tayo doon para makita natin.
What's the mood in the house? If she doesn't show up.
I think right now, siguro nasa level na po ng frustration.
So if she doesn't show up or send a legal representative, I'm not very familiar with the process, but she doesn't have to show up here personally, diba? It's not in the rules. But
Yes.
authorized representative has to be here.
Okay.
So paano kung walang mangyari doon until tomorrow? What's the mood in the house?
I think we'll definitely cross the bridge once we get there. You made an excellent point. I think it was 2 years ago, and may her soul rest in peace. Secretary Toots Ople, I was defending the budget ng DMW. She wasn't available for plenary debates because she was in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia at ina-address niya yung issue ng mga OFWs natin doon na hindi pa nababayaran. Kaso lang, nagpadala siya ng sulat at nagpaliwanag siya kung bakit hindi siya makadalo. At bagamat hindi po siya nakadalo, kumpleto naman po yung mga USEC at ASECs ng DMW na nandoon. So, doon tinanggap po yun ng plenary. Now, with regards to the second part of your question, kung ngayon at bukas hindi pa rin siya dumalo, again, tulad ng sinabi ko kanina, I cannot preempt the actions of the House members. It will have to be discussed by Congress and by all of us kung ano po ang mangyayari sa budget ng Office of the Vice President.
So at the bare minimum, you'll be satisfied with her sending a letter of explanation and sending an authorized representative?
Well, I think I'll be satisfied with whatever. I mean, when I say whatever is legally binding for us to actually continue on with the budget proceedings. I think for her part and for any agency's part, alam na naman po nila kung anong kailangan nilang gawin para makapag-progress na po tayo sa budget process.
Ang problema po kasi hindi natin masagutan diretso yan. Kasi first time lang po mangyayari ito na isang departamento, no, walang ipinadalang representative, hindi nagpakita yung kanyang mga tauhan, no? So first time nangyari ito. At tama naman po si Kong JJ na talagang kailangan pag-usapan, no, ng majority at miyembro ng Kongreso kung anong gagawin, no? Dahil nga first time nangyari ito na walang representative, wala yung department head, no, na hindi sila umattend, no, sa budget hearing ng kanilang departamento.
Well, just to give a reaction on that matter, So, unang-una, naghintay po yung miyembro ng House of Representatives for the Vice President to appear before the plenary and help the sponsor to answer the questions. So, there are photos and even videos circulating that on the Monday morning, nandun po siya sa isang beach in Camarines Norte. Sa amin po yun, sa Bicol region. So maganda kasi na-promote pa po yung Calaguas Beach. In other words, ibig sabihin po nito, wala ho talagang intensyon na dumalo dito po sa pagdinig sa plenaryo upang i-sponsor at i-defend ang budget po ng OVP. Sapagkat kung meron po siyang intensyon, dapat Sunday man lang nandito na po siya sa Manila. O kaya naman, nakipag-communicate po siya sa office ni Congressman Adjong para magkaroon po ng briefing at i-prepare man lang at mapaghandaan po ng budget sponsor ang mga katanungan ni tatanong po sa OVP. So, pangalawa, consistent naman po yung Vice President natin. In fairness to her, consistent in the sense na hindi po siya dumalo nung Committee on Appropriations Budget hearing, pati po dito sa plenary, hindi rin po dumalo. So kung ganyan po, it shows that she's not interested with her duties and functions as the Vice President of the Philippines. So kung ganyan po yung lumalabas, probably we can ask her to step down as the Vice President. Kasi nakikita natin hindi naman po siya dumadalo sa mga pandinig dito po sa Kongreso. So ano po ibig sabihin nito? Hindi na po siya interesado? At mas pinili niya pa po bumunta sa isang beach resort kaysa dumalo po dito sa pagdinig sa kanya pong budget. So I guess it's the Filipino people. It's up to them to judge the Vice President. Yun na lang po siguro ang mga reaction ko po dyan.
You're asking her to resign.
Kung hindi na po siya interesado sa kanya pong duties and functions as the Vice President, we can ask the Vice President to step down.
Thank you. Let us acknowledge Rosalie Cos from UNTV.
Good morning po, Kongs. I'm not sure if you have read the letter of VP Duterte addressed to Kong Sia. It's dated September 11, and then she said, the Vice President said, as communicated to the Speaker of the House of Representatives and the Chair of the Committee on Appropriations, the OVP has duly submitted all the required documents to the committee pertaining to its budget request for the upcoming year. Furthermore, a comprehensive overview of our proposals was presented during my presentation on 27 August 2024. In consideration of the foregoing, the OVP leaves the deliberation of our budget proposal in the plenary entirely to the pleasure of the House of Representatives. So, long before the plenary deliberations, may sulat na po si OVP. Why do you find it not acceptable?
Well, it's basic. Yes, it's up to the sound discretion of Congress. Yun naman talaga yun Kaso lang, pagdating sa budget deliberations, yung mga departments at agencies concerned, dumadating. Kasi pagdating ng mga katanungan sa sponsor at wala yung representative ng ahensya na yon, paano may sasagot? Paano magkakaroon ng kaliwanagan? Huwag po natin kakalimutan ang pinag-uusapan po natin dito, pera ng taong bayan to, hindi to pera ng iisang tao, ng isang pribadong individual. These are funds, these are public funds that have to be properly explained, have to be properly determined how they were used and how they are planned to be utilized for the succeeding year. That's why the agency heads and the agency representatives or the departments have to be present during plenary debates. So, given that she has a letter, that's true. Yes, it's up to the sound discretion of the House. However, we cannot take away that there is a process in determining the budget.
I think if we take note po, the contents of the letter just is a reiteration of the answer that they have interposed even for the pre-budget deliberations. So kumbaga po, inuulit niya lang po na she's leaving it to the House to decide on the fate of her budget. However, it does not say that she will not participate with our processes. It does not say that she will not attend. It does not say that she will send an authorized representative. So I don't think the September 11 letter would be any indication of what transpired yesterday. So I don't think we could have been prepared po. No? But with that said, as mentioned earlier, we, the House collectively will be extending maximum leniency, and we're hoping for the best po that at least the bare minimum would be complied with, that we may proceed with the budget. Yun lang po.
Alright, mag-follow up lang po ako. Yun pong non-appearance ng Vice President po before the House of Representatives plenary deliberations, how does this affect the whole budget proceedings po? Will, yun pong assumptions na magkakaroon ng re-enacted budget, may ganun bang usapan? Wala? Or nadidelay ba yun pong budget proceedings dahil lang po sabi nyo nga po, it's very unusual for a head of a government agency not to appear before the budget deliberation. So, gaano nito naapektuhan po yun pong mahalagang proseso na ito dito sa Kamara?
I think everybody will have their opinion in this. I think it affects everybody. Number one, like what I told you, as a matter of operationalizing the budget process, kita nyo naman, nagsisiksikan po lahat ng mga departments at agencies ngayon para maipasok natin lahat ng kanilang mga budget presentations for Tuesday, Wednesday. Actually, this started since last week. Not to mention, we have congressmen sleeping at 4 a.m., waking up at 9 a.m. just to make sure that they are here, present, doing their responsibilities. So, with this, there's a certain gray area as to where and how po natin isisingit. But like what I told you kanina, we will extend all courtesy and leeway, and kung necessary, magpupuyat tayo para lang antayin siya. Kaso lang ang mahalaga, wag naman po natin i-disrespect yung proseso dahil bahagi po talaga ito ng demokrasya. Kung lahat naman po dumadaan sa ganito, bakit exempted? Di ba? Walang exemption dito. Everybody has to go through the process. So, with that being said, you mentioned an issue about reenacted budget. I don't think that is within any real means, because so far naman all the other departments and agencies have fully complied with the requirements of the law. So, ito lang naman talaga yung issue lang talaga ng Office of the Vice President, yung medyo hindi pa namin maintindihan. Ako personally, hindi ko talaga maintindihan kung bakit hindi na lang dumalo dito para, matapos na to.
To add lang po, siguro para mas maintindihan po ng mga viewers din po na iba. 'Di ba? Sabi nga po nila sa classroom, merong batas. Naalala niyo pa 'yon? Bawal lumabas, bawal lumabas. Para kami nasa classroom. Kung may sakit ka, may excuse letter ka. Kung nag-absent ka, absent ka. Kung nag-half day ka, absent ka. Kung nag-cutting ka ng classes, absent ka pa rin. So, absent, wala. Hindi po siya nag-attend, hindi nag-participate. Kung nandyan man, hindi nasagot po yung mga tanong, lalo po nung briefings. Kasi nga, meron pong statement, meron siyang script na ginamit. Siyempre, makikita nyo yung frustration sa House. Kahit basahin nyo yung mga statements, yung mga letters, oo, may mga semantics, may mga salita po tayo nakikita doon. Pero, ang isang batas, ang isang regulasyon po na, halimbawa, itong pinapatupad namin, itong exercise namin sa House of Representatives, siyempre, kailangan mo naman tignan yung kaluluwa kung anong ginagawa namin dito sa House of Representatives. Yung budget deliberations po. Bayad kami ng taong bayan para busisiin, magtanong, gumawa ng naakmang mga batas para mas maayos ma-implement po yung mga ganitong programa, like for the case of the Office of the Vice President. Pero may trabaho po sila, may obligasyon sila dito at bayad sila ng taong bayan para dumating po dito at sagutin yung mga tanong na para po mas maging efficient po yung proposal nila for the next year. So, ganun lang po kasimple.
Dagdag ko lang po, well, of course, definitely, naapektuhan po yung budget process. It causes delay, And of course, I would like to emphasize that we cannot sacrifice the entirety, the national budget, no, because of one agency. We have to remember that we keep on mentioning this. Ito pong General Appropriations Act is the most important piece of legislation every year because we are talking about the national budget. We are talking about the programs to be funded, especially yung mga social services program, ayuda, programa sa mga mangingisda, sa atin pong members of the agricultural sector. So in other words, kung ito po ay mai-delay at hindi po ay may pasa sa tamang oras, the negative impact is that we will have a reenacted budget. And when we speak of reenacted budget, kung ano yung budget this present year, that will be the budget for next year. So affected yung mga programa na kailangan taasan yung pondo, mga programa na dapat kailangan na busisiin. So that is the essence on why it is very important ito pong budget process. So if meron pong isang ahensya ng gobyerno na makaka-apekto po, definitely we will not allow that because masasacrifice po yung the entirety of the budget of the Republic of the Philippines. So as much as possible, we are doing our jobs here as Vice Chairperson po ng Committee on Appropriations. Gusto namin planchado lahat ng budget ng kada ahensya ng gobyerno. Pero kung meron pong mga ganito na ahensya ng gobyerno, well, definitely, hindi po kami papaapekto. Dahil it is our constitutional mandate to pass the budget on time para hindi po masakripisyo yung pondo ng taong bayan for the next fiscal year, which is on 2025. Salamat po.
Okay, thank you. Well, yung reenacted budget na sinasabi ninyo, no, para sa budget ng OVP, it is not possible, no? Hindi posible yon dahil napaka-imposible nun kasi nga talagang nagtatrabaho ang mga miyembro ng Kongreso para ipasa yung budget on time. Kung ang tingin ng ating Vice President, kaya niyang isabotahe yung pagpasa ng budget ng ating pamahalaan for 2025, hindi po papayagan ng Kongreso yon. Nagtatrabaho po ang mga miyembro ng Kamara para ipasa siya on time. At sana maisip din ng ating Vice President na dyan din nakasalalay sa budget ng OVP yung mga nagtatrabaho sa kanyang opisina, yung mga merong plantilla positions, opisina ng Office of the Vice President na kailangan ng sweldo, kailangan ng trabaho. Sana maisip din niya yon na hindi naman po pwede na lagi na it's all about her. Kailangan din niyang isipin yung mga nagtatrabaho sa kanyang departamento. So, yung reenacted budget ng OVP, it is impossible. Hindi mangyayari po yun dahil hindi papayagan yun ng Kongreso.
Just an addition lang po, no? Usually po when you speak of reenacted budget, you're talking about the whole budget. And this usually happens pag may substantial issues, meaning the parties don't agree in the direction of the budget or the leadership is unable to keep everything in line. In this case po, I think procedural lang naman po ito. It's just a procedural issue. The budget process of Congress is slowing down to accommodate the certain personalities to appear, to be heard, to be fair, to be lenient. And I think the leniency afforded on this procedural issue will have its limit. And we will not sacrifice the budget for the sake of this, procedural lapse. The substantive must reign, and still we will pass this budget. It's just that what we're trying to say here is that the budget will wait for no man. But in this case, it is a woman. So, yun po.
Before we recognize Big Sumintak from Net25, we will acknowledge again Marian Enriquez for a related question.
Sorry, follow-up lang po dun sa question ni Ate Maki. Kung Jill said, kung hindi na siya interesado, VP Sara, sa trabaho niya, we can ask the Vice President to step down. Is that the sentiment of the entire House, T.S. Suarez? Kung Jill Bongalon said earlier po na kung hindi na interesado si VP Sara sa trabaho niya, we can ask the Vice President to step down. Is that the sentiment of the entire House?
Well, that's clearly the clear sentiments being shared by a lot of members. Kasi, alam mo, trabaho yun, responsibility. Kaya nga ako, iniisip ko, kung hindi kaya resign siya ng DepEd, tapos ito rin mangyari sa budget ng DepEd, ano kaya nangyari sa mahigit na, ilang kayang teachers ang umaasa sa DepEd? na empleyado natin. Thousands yun, di ba? So, I mean, tayo lahat elected. Kami mga halal. Kami pinagkatiwalaan para maglingkod. May trabaho kaming dapat gampanan. Bahagi ng trabaho to eh. Bahagi ng responsibilidad to. So bahagi talaga to na as head of agency, as head of department, you have to go through the process. And this is just bigger. This is not even about her. This is about the office of the Vice President, the second highest position of the land. And you have to put respect and due courtesy to that office. And to simply show up and do your work, I think it's the least that she can do for the office of the Vice President.
Thank you. Big Samintak from Net25, please proceed with your questions.
Magandang umaga po. Ang sabi niyo nga sa ngalan ng kortesiya, leniency, ibibigay niyo lahat sa Office of the Vice President. Naghintay kayo kahapon, maghihintay kayo ngayon, bukas, siguro hanggat magpakailanman. So, ang sabi nga ni Congressman Kunghon, kaya sabi ko, hiramin ko si Tita Mili. First time na nangyari ito. So my question is, dahil ito ay magiging first time, at kung hindi talaga siya dumating, magkakaroon ba kayo ng clear policy ngayon sa budget deliberation ng isang head ng agency na hindi darating para malinaw kung anong gagawin ng Kongreso?
Well, definitely, hindi kami mag-aantay ng magpakailanman. Kasi kailangan maipasa yung budget by Wednesday. At hindi ito mapipigilan ng opisina ng Vice President na maipasa ng Kongreso ang budget come Wednesday. Yun nga lang, katulad nga ng sinabi natin kanina, first time nangyari ito, at kailangan din magdesisyon ang mayorya or ang mga miyembro ng Kamara kung ano ang gagawin dito. Dahil yun nga, first time na nangyari ito, at kailangan mag-usap-usap ang miyembro ng Kongreso kung paano i-approach. Hindi namin masasagot ng kami lang to dahil syempre, ito ay usapin na kailangan desisyonan ng buong Kamara de Representante.
Alam mo, she can come here eh. She's been here twice. She went here during the budget briefing in the committee level. She went here last week when we had the first hearing on good government. So she has time to go to the beach. She should have time to come here.
Pag madami ng absent sa classroom, may drop na. Parang ganun ba yan?
Ito po, yung practical approach lang po nung kung bakit importante na andito po yung head of the agency. Because we cannot expect the budget sponsor to answer everything on behalf of the department or agency. Kahit ako po, I defended several agencies. May mga katanungan po ako that I